What's going on, PGA DFS fans? Thanks for joining me on another short form video. This one, the top 5 values for the RBC Canadian Open. Now, last week in these 2 short form videos, we labeled 10 golfers. One of them actually withdrew, Chad Ramey. We're going to have to check in on that a little bit further. Might have come into an injury. 2 missed cuts, but 7 golfers made the cut. 5 of them ended up in the top 10 with multiple top 5 finishes. Didn't have Billy Horschel, but had pretty much everybody else in the top 5 in these videos. So hopefully you guys were able to maybe find Billy Horschel on one of the lineups and cash in pretty big. Now we're going to head into this week. We're going to head to Toronto for the Canadian Open. The 5th time that this course, St. George's, has hosted the Open, and we are going to dig in and find the top values here this week. Very interesting week as the middle and back end of the field is very weak, whereas the top end of the field has 5 of the world's top 10 golfers. So very strong. This week, maybe the values are a little bit off. When I looked at the projections last night, there aren't many golfers priced cheaply this week that our projections love. So you got to kind of sift through, and I'm going to do that here for you. And of course, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel here to make sure you get notified when these videos do come live. So, all right, let's jump in now to a couple picks. Also, speaking of picks, I want to thank our new sponsor, PrizePicks of this short form video. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about them in just a bit and give you a couple of picks over there. So let's start it. Here on the value, you're going to start at the bottom, 6,700 this week for Carlos Ortiz, coming in as the 11th best value on the Awesemo board. And he's coming in, well, his form, again, it's a little, this is what we're going to find here this week. It's up and down. Let's go into his strokes gained rank first and kind of explain why he's not having as good a season as he should be. He's ranked 118th off the tee, 106th on the approach, 189 around the green, and 106th with his putter. So that just goes to show you he's not performing well in really any category, and that's costing him some pretty good starts. But given the field strength this week, and given the fact that he at least made the cut last week, coming in the back half, came in 64th, and missed the cut a couple of weeks ago prior to that. Form isn't great. Ownership should stay low. Again, though, 6,700 for Ortiz, a PGA Tour winner. Definitely take a look at him this week. Second guy we want to talk about is Ghim, who put together a fantastic Friday, one of the best rounds of the week last week at Muirfield Village, to end up making the cut, but ended up tailing off at the back end, came in, I think, in 61st or 62nd. He came 60th, excuse me, last week, because Sunday had another terrible round. So 2 terrible rounds put with 2 okay rounds. Now he comes to a golf course that is not nearly as difficult. Comes to in the field is not nearly as strong either. So he comes in at $7,000 this week on DraftKings. His value rank is 7th on the board. Now, when we take a look at his strokes gained, see how he's getting it done, he's doing a little bit better than certainly Carlos Ortiz this year. 101st off the tee for Ghim, 48th on the approach, 99 around the green, and 192 putting. Oof, his putter not working well for him this year. But that won't be a problem for our 3rd golfer here on the value board, JT Poston, who has found himself inside of the top 10 a couple of times recently, but mixed in with those starts, not so great starts, as he came in 37th last week. Not bad, missed cut, but it was the Wells Fargo a couple of weeks ago where he did have a top 10, and a couple weeks before that also added in. So he's been in the top 10 a couple of times. So at $7,200 in this field, it is good value. I already mentioned his putting, and yes, he is one of the best putters on tour typically, but this year, not so much. He's ranked 112th with his putting, 91st around the green, 164 on the approach, but his off the tee game has looked pretty good. Ranked 51st. So if his putting starts to come back to where it typically is for JT Poston, maybe that's why his starts are getting better. As his putter gets better, we want to get on the right end of the curve this week. $7,200 for him, like the price. Now we're going to go up to Cameron Champ at $7,800, who has certainly not had a good season, at least by his standards. But he'll play Augusta again, as that's one of his best starts of the season, coming in 12th there, and also coming in the top 10 a few weeks before that. But it's been a struggle with pretty much every strokes gained category except off the tee for Cameron Champ, who ranks 9th there this year, 156th on the approach, 188 around the green, and 137 putting. I do like that about his putting. It is getting better. In fact, about 2 months ago, if we had come out with these strokes gained ranks. I think he was ranked outside of the top 180. And what's changed? Well, what's changed is he's gone to a left-hand low, cross-handed grip with a forward press, made famous, of course, by Jordan Spieth of more recent times. Champ certainly has found much more success in holding putts and not making as many free putts. So keep an eye on Cameron Champ as he continues to get more comfortable with that putting grip. Hopefully should find himself a good week. Now, again, par 70 here this week, but with 3 par 5s, Champ should be able to use his length to his advantage. All right, the last guy on our value board is going to be Rory McIlroy. He is coming in actually at the #1 ranked value on the board this week, and that is very, very hard to do given that he's one of the most expensive players. So $10,500 for him this week. Like I said, coming in ranked #1, coming off an 18th place finish at Muirfield Village last week. Played okay, didn't play great, but he's had a great season in terms of consistency. He's playing almost every single weekend. When we take a look at his strokes gained rank, we see why. He's ranked inside the top 40 in all 4 categories. Might be the first time in his career we could say that. 3rd off the tee, 38th on the approach, 30th around the green, and 34th putting. So pretty impressive stuff there. Now, while we're on McIlroy, let's turn our attention to PrizePicks and tell you just a little bit of the sweet deal we've got going on with them. They are, if you have not played over on PrizePicks, they are a daily props-based contest. Use promo code Awesemo for a $100 first match on your first deposit there. Pretty good deposit bonus, if I must say so myself. Now, there's no sharks, there's no optimizers or mass entries. And what you can do is you pick 5 players that can net up to 10x your entry fees. I'm going to give you some examples on what types of props you can see. And also, let's say that you love the NBA and you're just coming into golf for fun because NBA is ending. Well, before it does, you can use your NBA knowledge and your PGA knowledge that I'm about to give you for multiple sports with cross-sport entries. Really fun. Love that deal that PrizePick has going on over there. And lastly, click the link in the video description below or head to prizepicks.com or download the PrizePicks app in the App Store or Google Play. Okay, now, type of props that they have. Well, Rory McIlroy. Let's focus on him. We go over to birdies. They have 4 different options for golf in round 1. Birdie or better in the matchup. Strokes, so number of strokes. Birdie or better, or greens in regulation. So for McIlroy, I'm going to focus on the birdie or better, and they have his line set at 4.5. With 3 par 5s that are all reachable, and at least 3 other par 4s that are under 400 yards. I love the over birdie of 4.5 on McIlroy there. And although Cameron Smith is not part of our thing here, not part of our video, I'm going to take the birdie or better matchup for round 1, starting Cameron Smith. He's going against Justin Rose. I will take the over on Cameron Smith. I'll have him beating Justin Rose here in the birdie or better contest. Now, if you put $20 on those 2 prizes, your payout would be $60 to win. So just about a 3x your money on those 2. That is PrizePicks there. Thank you for the sponsor there. Again, as we are done here with our top 5 values, I'll go over them 5-1 really quickly again. Ortiz, Ghim, Poston, Champ, and McIlroy. Really decent start there. Okay, next week is the United States Open, so let's pay attention this week. Try and win some tickets, win some life-changing amount of money as well. Maybe it might not be $1 million, but it's certainly a good amount. $200,000 to first is the top prize. Let's go out and win it this week, and good luck to everybody. We'll see you next week for the U.S. Open. But before we get on out of here, actually, let's tell you about the shows that we have going on this week. I am doing this on Tuesday morning, so check out the PGA DFS strategy show today at 1 o'clock with Ben Raza and Eric Lundquist back on the airwaves. And if you're looking for Ben Raza and I's takes, well, join us on Live Before Lock Wednesday, 4 o'clock this week. I'm going to bring it down as the conference finals, not the conference. The NBA finals is at night, so our time is shifted. Nonetheless, join us 4 o'clock on Wednesday. Okay, that's going to do it from here, everybody. Make sure to check out my sleepers video coming up right after this. We will see you on the other side. Cheers.